I have two sodas right here. One I opened earlier and then one later, and forgot about this one, so I'm just like switching off, you know. This one's a little colder and a little more carbonated, and this one's a little less carbonated, but I feel like I neglected it and I need to finish it. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be doing a full face using my favorite drugstore products. So my holy grail drugstore products. I do slip a couple of high-end products in there, but I will kind of tell you why, just because I haven't found my holy grail drugstore product for that particular step in my routine. So I ask you guys for your suggestions for those products, so keep watching if you guys want to see how to get this face with almost all drugstore products. Okay, so first I moisturized my face with the Aveeno Positively Radiant Daily Moisturizer, and I have been using this moisturizer for years now. I really love it. It is supposed to help even the tone and texture of your skin, and I really feel like that it does, and I just love it because it has an SPF in it. I have like combination skin, so it's not super heavy, but it does moisturize your face, and even if you have oily skin, you need to be using a moisturizer so that your oil glands don't overcompensate for not being moisturized and create more oil. So using a moisturizer is important even though you're oily. I do not have a drugstore primer that I am in love with right now. If you guys have any that you would recommend, I know that the Mineral Veil from NYX is supposed to be really good. Please let me know, because I do not have a holy grail, a ride or die drugstore primer. So I did cheat and I went ahead and used my Becca Backlight priming filter, but this is quite spendy, so if you guys do have one that you would recommend that is affordable, I would love to know what it is. So next I am going to go in with my L'Oreal True Match Healthy Luminous Makeup. I used this forever. Like this used to be the only foundation that I used. I love L'Oreal True Match. This is the Lumi, and this just gives you like a skin-like appearance. They do have the regular True Match if you're more oily. You might like that one a little bit better, but I really do love this foundation. It performs more like a high-end foundation, and I love that the shade range that they have. I'm in N3, which is neutral, and it's called Natural Buff, but they do have a cool range, a warm range, and a neutral range, which I think is really great. I've been thinking about doing a video on how to match your foundation and how to know whether you're cool or warm or neutral, because that is actually something I just learned about. So if that is something you guys are interested in, then please let me know in the comments below. I love that it has a pump too. I shake it up and I do about 2 pumps. And this really is like the perfect match for my skin. Another foundation that I loved forever that's great for more oily skin is the Revlon Colorstay Whipped Cream Makeup, and I'm in True Beige, but I have used this in a drugstore tutorial before, but I love this. It is really full coverage, and it really is mattifying. That was my go-to foundation for a long time as well. So if you're oily, I would recommend that. If you're more combination or like a little bit oily, I would do the True Match, and if you're more dry, I would do the True Match Lumi. I am actually more combination, but I just like the finish of this one. I feel like it looks really natural and glowy, and that's always what I'm going for. So I'm just going to take my Morphe M439 foundation brush, and Morphe you can find at Ulta I think soon, or they have a website, and all of their brushes are super affordable. A brush like this from MAC would be $40–50, and I think this one's like $15 or something, which is really great. I also love Real Techniques brushes, which are really easy to get your hands on. You can find them at Ulta or at Target or Walmart. For foundation, I love and this has red on it because I did like a Halloween makeup look with this. I love the buffing brush or the Expert face brush. If you can't get your hands on this Morphe one, these ones are great. I think they're like $10 and you can find them at the drugstore, but these are great for foundation brushes. Most of my brushes are actually affordable. I have a couple MAC brushes, but most of them are affordable. Look how natural that foundation looks. Oh, I might have to start using this more again. I don't have as much coverage as I would like, so I'm going to do another pump to kind of build that up. And this is so buildable. It is so lightweight. It just melts right into your skin. Builds up so nicely. It doesn't get too patchy or anything when you build it up. I forgot how much I love this foundation. Okay, and as far as concealer goes, I do not have a Ride or Die concealer. I've tried the NYX HD one and I do not love that one. So I am going to go ahead and use my Tarte Shape Tape one. If you guys have one from the drugstore that you think is amazing, I've tried the Maybelline Fit Me. I'm not a fan of that one. I don't know, maybe my dark circles are just like on another level or something, but I just have not been able to find a concealer from the drugstore that I really like. So give me recommendations down below. This really is like my Ride or Die holy grail products from the drugstore. So if I put a concealer in here that I didn't really love, I would feel like I was lying to you guys. So I am going to go in with my Tarte Shape Tape. Also, I am going somewhere today, so I do want to look presentable. Concealer is my bestie. I think this concealer is honestly worth every penny. If you are going to invest in something, invest in this concealer because it is like my secret weapon. Covers everything. I think it is about $20, but you don't have to use as much as I do. You can just use it on the spots that you really need some extra coverage. I just like to slap it on my face because I love it. Okay, so this is also an item you can get from the drugstore, and this is the Real Techniques sponge, and I love, love, love this sponge. I've had the Beauty Blender, and I honestly just feel like this is just as good as the Beauty Blender, and I think this is like $7, and the Beauty Blender is like $20. But I am so Ride or Die for these sponges. I've got like a billion all over. They all need washed. I got a lot so I could like wash one and then use others, but let's be honest, I suck at washing my brushes. I'm just gonna be real here. I don't know how all those beauty gurus always have freshly washed brushes because I got 3 kids. I ain't got time for that. So now I'm going to take my Rimmel Match Perfection Silky Loose Face Powder, and this one is in transparent. I'm going to use my Real Techniques sponge and just set my under eye concealer with that powder. And then I'm going to take a big fluffy powder brush. This one is the Morphe E41, but you could use the Real Techniques one. I mean, this one is probably the same price. This one you can just get on Morphe's website again, and this one you can get in Walmart. So this one is the powder brush. So pretty similar, and I use this one forever. I don't know why I like this one better. It's just a little bit bigger. So I just put a tiny bit of that powder in the lid, and I'm just going to set the rest of my face. I like my foundation to just last all day long, so I set my foundation. For brows, I do not have a brow powder from the drugstore I'm Ride or Die for either, so let me know if you have one that you recommend. I do, however, use this every single day. This is the Brow Stylist Shape and Fill from L'Oreal, and I don't know what color it is in. Oh, dark brunette. I like my eyebrows to be dark even though I'm blonde. I just like that look, but the brow powder that I am Ride or Die for is the the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo in chocolate. I do think this is worth purchasing. It just does not budge. I think this is about $20, but it lasts me a good year probably, so I think it is worth purchasing. But if you guys have a brow powder from the drugstore that you recommend, again, just put it down below. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in my brows with this, and then I'm going to show you how I use this L'Oreal Brow Stylist Shape and Fill. I do not like to use this completely for my eyebrows. It kind of just is a little too harsh for me. Okay, so since my eyebrows are really light and blonde, I kind of do have to fake some hairs right up here in this section. Now that I have filled them in with that powdered and my angled brush, I am going to go ahead and fill in some of the spaces where I really have sparse hairs. Like right here is really just filled in. I really don't have hairs there, so it will kind of look lighter throughout the day. So I like to take this pencil. I heard Jaclyn Hill said that she thinks it's a good dupe for the Anastasia Brow Definer, but I have never used that one. But I just like to kind of fill in this area where my hairs are really sparse, so kind of like the tail. And this is darker, so it will kind of give that ombre effect to my brow. Right here in my brow is pretty thick right in that area, so any places where it's just really thin and I kind of want more sharp definition, I will use this pencil. And then I do love this little spoolie too, to just go over my brows and make sure they look all blended. If you don't have the money to afford the Anastasia Brow Duo in chocolate, you can definitely use like a dark eyeshadow from the drugstore. And I also know that they have a lot of good brow products. I know NYX has some. I just haven't tried them. The only one I've tried is this L'Oreal one, and that's the only one I can attest to right now, so I thought I would mention it in this video. And this next thing, I kind of hate talking about this because I know that it is limited edition, but if you guys can get your hands on it, I definitely would. And I think NYX eyeshadows in general are really great for the drugstore. I just love NYX in general, like the whole brand. It's really consistent in being really phenomenal, but I am obsessed with this Earth palette from NYX. And this is a drugstore palette, but oh my gosh, look at those colors. I love this palette. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a look with this today. Okay, so first I'm going to go in with this kind of like terracotta orange color in my transition area, and I think that these shadows perform just as good as like a high-end shadow. They are so good. Look how pretty that is. I love orangey warm colors. I would say this is my ride or die drugstore palette, but NYX eyeshadows in general are really good. Any of their palettes, any of their single eyeshadows are really nice. Okay, next I'm going to go into this red pinky color, and I'm going to just put that slightly lower than the first color. These shadows kill me. They are so good. Like a tiny little tap in there and I get so much pigment. They blend out so nicely. Okay, next I'm going to go in with this really like purpley deep burgundy color, and I'm going to use a smaller brush. Sorry, this brush I was using is the R37. It's also from Morphe, also super affordable. I love their eye brushes. Next I'm going to take the Morphe M443. It's just a little bit more tapered for blending, and I'm going to take that deepest, darkest burgundy, chocolatey color, just apply it right above my crease, but lower. I kind of have a hooded eye, so I like to apply shadows like slightly above my crease so that you can actually see them when my eye is open. Otherwise they kind of just disappear. I could seriously just leave it like this and be happy. Like, oh, look how beautiful that is. But I am going to go ahead and take this shimmery cranberry color, and I am just going to wet my brush with some MAC Fix Plus. You can use any setting spray. I know there's some great ones from the drugstore. I know L'Oreal has one, NYX has one. I actually haven't tried any of those. I wish I had one I could talk to you guys about, but I don't. So I need to be better about that. Obviously, this video is teaching me that I need to try out more drugstore products. I can recommend more for you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and just apply that on to my lid. This is so pretty, so shimmery. Honestly, it's so pigmented, you probably wouldn't even need to do the MAC Fix Plus. I just like that it gives it like a slightly more metallic look. I'd have to say that this eyeshadow palette is probably like one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes ever, not just drugstore. It is my favorite drugstore palette, but it is also one of my favorite palettes like ever, ever, ever. The greens are really pretty too. I did a look with the greens when I first reviewed this palette, so I will link that up above if you guys want to go check that out. I am going to deepen up my crease just a little bit more with that dark chocolatey color again. Kind of disappeared. I am going to take a blending brush and just blend out any harsh lines I might have. I'm going to take a little bit more of that orangey color right there. Ooh, a little too pigmented. That'll help kind of just fuse it all together up there. And if you feel like it gets too crazy high, something I like to do, and most palettes have like a color like this, like the skin colored, I like to just go over that area with that, and that will kind of blend it and make it look lighter and not so cray cray way up high. So now I'm going to take this brush. It is the Morphe E18, and I'm going to go ahead and go in with those colors on my lash line. So I'm going to take this orange first and smoke out my lower lash line with that. And I always make these weird faces. I'm so sorry, you guys. I don't know how other YouTubers don't make the weird faces. Maybe they just practice not making them. Maybe that's what I should do so I don't look like an idiot. I feel like I can't help it. Okay, I'm going to take this flat definer brush and take that dark chocolatey, I don't even know what to call that color. It's like a deep burgundy color. I'm gonna put that on my lower lash line, just on like the outer third. Buff it out again. Oh yeah. All-time ride or die favorite highlighter palette from the drugstore is the Sleek palette, but it is hard to find in stores, so if you don't want to order online, you can get it on Amazon or you can get it on Ulta's website, and it's $15, and it comes with 4 highlights, and it is so insanely pigmented and beautiful. But if you guys can't find this in stores, you can get the Wet n Wild. This is the Precious Petals highlighter. Yeah, it's the Mega Glow highlighter in Precious Petals, and this one is really beautiful as well. I'm sure you guys have seen me use this 5 billion times because I use it like every single day. So for the sake of this video, I will be using the Wet n Wild one. So I'm just going to use that to brighten up my inner corner a little bit more, and this is a Morphe E36. I'm going to just go ahead and use that on my inner corner and on my brow bone, and I do not know what's going on. My neighbor's dogs are barking like nobody's business, and there's an alarm going on. Okay, it stopped, thank goodness. What are they thinking, trying to interrupt my video? Oh, love that actually for a brow bone highlight. I haven't used that before as a brow bone highlight, but I love it because it's really subtle. Like it blends in nice. It's not like too intense where I feel like I have to blend it out again. Okay, so my ride or die liquid eyeliner from the drugstore. I feel like I am totally failing at this video, but it is the Maybelline Line Stiletto, and I cannot find it anywhere for the life of me. So what am I gonna use? Okay, I searched high and low and I found it for you guys. It is the Maybelline Line Stiletto Ultimate Precision Liquid Eyeliner, and it looks like this. It's like one of those felt tip sort of things. So yes, I love, love, love this. I also found the NYX individual eyeshadows so you guys can kind of see what they look like. I love this one. This is totally a dupe for MAC Cranberry. This is NYX Rust, and I've had this for a while, and look how pretty and pigmented that is. Like, their eyeshadows are on point. So if you're looking for some good drugstore eyeshadows, go with NYX for sure. They sell them at Ulta. They have some of them at like Target, and I'm not sure if, I don't think Walmart has them. They do have some at Walgreens, or you can also find them at Macy's. I saw like a huge, they have like a huge section at Macy's, which is crazy that Macy's is carrying an amazing drugstore product, but that just speaks to the quality of the brand, I think, that Macy's would carry them. So I'm trying to get you guys in close, but also not show you the mess that's over there. This one is kind of dried out. Dang it. It is such a good liner. And it lasts forever. Like, I'm surprised it's even dried out. It just has such like a little flexible wand that it's easy to get that little like flick. It's not doing it justice right now because it's all dried out and kind of clumpy. It's usually super smooth and easy to work with. Look at that wing. It's just so easy to get a good wing with. And I suck at wings, so that's saying something. And yes, I'm awful. I tug at my skin. I just don't have a very steady hand. Even all dried out, it worked like a charm. Also for your waterline, the Silk Line eyeliner. I can't remember who makes it. I will link it down below, but it is amazing for the waterline. Like, it does not budge and it's totally affordable, so get that one. I cannot find it right now. I don't know what is wrong with me. I even cleaned my house and tried to organize all my makeup, but not being able to find anything. So I'm just going to apply this Urban Decay one. But it is just as good as this Urban Decay one. Alright, as far as mascaras from the drugstore, I would have to say my all-time favorite is the L'Oreal Voluminous in Carbon Black. This is my ride or die drugstore mascara. Actually, probably my ride or die mascara, period. I honestly do not think that you need to spend a ton of money on high-end mascaras because there's so many good ones at the drugstore. Another good one, if you like the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara. If you really like the Benefit Roller Lash, you will really like the CoverGirl Tease mascara. That one's really great too. But yes, my favorite is this L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black. If you want a good like lower lash mascara, this Big Eyes one from Maybelline is really good. The Falsies Big Eyes, because it has like this side that's really great, and then it has this side that's really great. I love this mascara actually. Love, love, love this one too. But my ride or die is the L'Oreal Voluminous one. It's just super black too, so it blends in with your falsies so good. It's just thebomb.com. It even gets into those lower lashes pretty good, pretty well, not pretty good. Okay, and for my ride or die bronzer from the drugstore, I actually like to just take like a powder. The Maybelline Fit Me powders are so good, and I just like to go in a couple shades darker than my skin tone. So this one is in Natural Tan, and I use that as my bronzer, and it works like a charm. Sometimes bronzers from the drugstore can tend to be a little too orange or a little too muddy, or if you watched my Gigi Hadid video, I'll link it up above, you will see that that bronzer was a hot mess. It was so patchy, so hard to work with, but powder, like this powder just blends right into my skin and looks so natural, and I love it. I've heard that the Physician Formula's butter bronzer is supposed to be amazing, and I really have been wanting to try it. I just, as you know, if you follow my channel, have been trying like every single product under the sun, and so I only got so much money in my bank account, people. But if there is something you want me to review, especially a drugstore product, please let me know. I know I've been reviewing a lot of high-end products, and I want to do more drugstore, more affordable products for you guys too. So let me know. So I'm going to go ahead and take that Fit Me powder again and go ahead and contour my nose with that. And I just use this E40 from Sigma. It's just like a little blending brush, eye blending brush. And the bronzer brush I used was this Morphe R2. My ride or die, like this is probably my ride or die blush like of all time. Yeah, this has been hammered and beat up. Look at this guy. This is the Milani Luminoso Baked Powder Blush, and it's like not opening. It's like this corally, light corally blush. I don't know. This is like magic for your skin, you guys. I love this blush so much. It goes with any eye look. It goes with any look. It just makes you look like you are glowing from within. So I love this blush so much. I'm going to go ahead and take a Morphe M437 to apply that onto my cheeks. Oh yeah. Love it. You see how pretty that blush is, you guys? Obsessed. And for the highlight, I am going to be using the Wet n Wild one again, the Precious Petals. I'm going to be using the Morphe M501 brush. I honestly just bought the Jaclyn Hill Favorites packet, or what's it called? Packet? Why am I calling it a packet? A bundle? I don't know. The set. The Jaclyn Hill Favorites brush set from Morphe, and you get all of these amazing brushes, like 90% of the ones I've used today, and you get them at a discounted price too. So there is that glow. I think I want my glow to be a little more intense today, but that really is such a pretty natural glow, and for like $4 from the drugstore, this is amazing. I do want to go back in with my Sleek palette because, let's be honest, I want to send signals to the moon. So I just take a little bit of this one, a little bit of that one, and oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Highlighting makes me so happy, and that just gives me that glow I want. So yeah, this is my ride or die, the Sleek palette. But I did want to try and use that because this one is easier to find and easier to get your hands on. I mean, you do just have to order that Sleek one online, but some people don't like to shop online like I do. Now I am going to go put some false lashes on. I do not have the package for the falsies that I'm going to put on right now, but they are the Ardell Demi Wispy Studio Effects. Those are my ride or die lashes, and you can just get them at the drugstore for a few bucks. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply those on, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I applied my lashes on. Oh, I am obsessed with these lashes. They are like so fluffy, but somehow natural at the same time. I don't know how they do it. I'm going to go ahead and apply my, I had to run downstairs to get this, so that's why I'm all out of breath. But I am going to apply my Ride or Die lipstick from the drugstore, and it is this Maybelline lipstick called Born With It, and it is pretty much a dupe for the MAC Cream Cup lipstick. Okay, so here is MAC Cream Cup. This one is Maybelline Born With It, and then this one right here is the Maybelline Make Me Pink, which is one of my other favorite Maybelline lipsticks, and no wonder I like these two because they're basically the same lipstick. I feel like Make Me Pink is just a tiny bit darker and maybe a little more cool toned, and Cream Cup is like a little bit more neutral toned and a little lighter. I do love Born With It. I always get compliments when I wear this lipstick. I always get asked about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that for you. It's like so creamy too. Like these lipsticks are so comparable to like a MAC lipstick or something like that. Like Maybelline does it with their lipsticks. They're really opaque and just my favorite lipsticks ever. So that is Born With It. Like I said, if you want a little bit more darker, cool toned color, then I would go with Make Me Pink. And then my Ride or Die drugstore lip gloss have to be the NYX Butter Gloss in Eclair. This formula is so buttery, so creamy. It's not sticky whatsoever. It's just so beautiful, so pigmented. Like you can just use this instead of using a lipstick underneath. Any of these lip glosses in these butter glosses are so amazing. This happens to be my favorite color. Do you see a theme here? I'm into these light nudie pinks, but I'll just put that over top of this. These two together are really pretty too. So these just, I love these lipsticks and this lip gloss just because they can kind of go with any look and they're flattering for my skin tone. So those are why they are my favorites. But the formulas of that lipstick and that lip gloss, if you guys are looking for a lipstick or a lip gloss, are so awesome. So I would definitely check those out while you are at the drugstore. So let me put some earrings in so I look a little more put together. I'll wear these ones because these ones are kind of fun. They go with my look though. What I got going on? Not sure. Okay, so this is my full face using my Holy Grail drugstore products. Not bad, guys, right? I mean, I did cheat and I used a few high-end products, and I apologize. I just wanted to really attest to the products that I was using, and I didn't want to lie to you guys and be like, this is my favorite drugstore concealer when I hate it. But this is a full face with all of my favorite drugstore products. So you guys don't have to spend a fortune to look glam. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please, please subscribe. I will leave a little bubble of my face and you can click on it and subscribe and be part of my tribe. And do not forget that it's okay to be confident, it's okay to be real, and you are beautiful. See ya.